we observe it right now is something that is really difficult for us to grasp. Now, coming up with the explanation that God created it is fine for a short period of time. You sit down, you say, God created it, now I'm okay, I feel like it all makes sense. But if you ponder a little bit longer on what does that mean, that before our existence there was the most complex life form possible that was there, that didn't require a cause, then that seems to be the hardest thing to explain. Out of all the possible, out of all the cause. Is it
easy to understand?
Yes, but I'm saying it's the
it has to be. Because if there is no prior existence, and that existence is always there, then any properties that this existence has to be inherent, self-possessed. So where does the property come from then? Tell me. Just understand that. Where does the property come from?
It doesn't have to be the same.
Where does the property come from?
Can I answer that?
From another universe. We said
to square one.
Listen. Okay, right. Mathematically.
Okay, can I entertain that a little bit? Where did that universe come from?
Hang on. Okay, right.
Where did that universe come from?
Hang on. Stop shouting at me and I'll explain.
I'm not shouting. I'm just
you just interrupting while I'm doing an explanation. Right. You know what a black hole is?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
Do you understand that mathematically, as a black hole gets bigger, its Schwarzschild radius, the area within which light cannot escape, gets bigger exponentially because of the rule of gravity. Okay. If you measure the mass in the universe as it stands, and you consider that if that was a black hole, how big would its Schwarzschild radius be beyond which light can't escape? It turns out to be the same size as the universe, which kind of suggests we are inside a black hole. And if we are, then that black hole collapsed into a black hole from another universe, which would have had to exist before our universe. And that universe does not have to have the same physical properties as ours in any way or shape or form, in much the same way it's been mathematically proved by Hawking.
Where did that universe come from?
It can go round and round in circles. Believe it or not, it can actually be turtles forever.
Slow down. So where did that universe come from? Let's
Another
take it
one.
to
Another universe.
And
another universe.
Is it uninvited?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying
it can be. We don't know, but it can be.
Slow down. So according to your model, it can possibilities is always there.
Yeah.
Some form of the universe was always there.
Yes.
Right. So when it was always there, did it acquire a property from something else, or it had it inherently?
Well, it would have had you're making a mistake in thinking that the properties that this universe has was acquired from that universe.
And where did that get it from?
Okay, the inside of a black hole does not have the same physical laws as the rest of the universe.
I'm not arguing that you are like trying to argue with you that we have the same physical properties. Properties exist, whether it is in this form or that form.
Yeah.
The universes that you are now using as a cause for our universe. So if you have
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not. You're working with a cause and effect mindset.
So there is no
the property has to have come from there because there's a rule controlling it. So it doesn't. The rules for this other universe can be completely different.
So let's understand that. You have another universe which gives rise to this universe.
Yes.
Did it cause it?
This universe happened
Not this
in
one.
that universe.
If you have a series of universes.
But this universe didn't cause the black holes that are in it.
If you have this universe, which came as a result of this universe, was this caused by this universe?
It didn't happen as a result of the black hole.
I'm not talking about black hole. You're just totally talking about apples and oranges.
No, the black hole in this universe was not caused.
I'm not talking about black holes.
Was not caused.
I'm talking about the universe.
Yes, but
the universe is bigger than the black holes. Do you agree? Good. So,
if it's a black hole in another universe, that universe doesn't necessarily have to cause this universe.
My friend, listen. If you have a universe which came as a result of another universe,
that's what it's not a result.
Okay.
You're talking cause and effect.
Wait a second then. So that universe, and there's another universe. What's the connection?
This is inside, our universe is inside that universe. And here's the catch.
Is a universe existing always inside the other universe?
Yes.
And the other universe always existing inside the other universe?
It's better than that. That other universe might have billions of black holes just like we have, that are themselves individual universes.
So if our universe, this one, is inside this universe, and that universe is inside another universe,
yes.
Right. So you have universes concentrating on each other, but the fact is, there is a universe that was always there.
No.
So at one point,
It goes back and back and back and back and back
at
forever.
one point, there was nothing, absolutely.
No, ever. It goes back and back and back and back and back.
At one point, was there a universe or nothing?
There's always been universes for other universes
Good.
to appear.
So there was always been something.
Yeah.
Right. This something, did it have its own properties?
It would have had, yes.
Where do you get it from?
Oh, for God's sake, you're talking cause and effect. It got it from the last universe.
Sorry?
It got it from the universe before that.
But there is no end to these universes.
That's right.
So you were saying it goes on for ever and ever, right?
Yeah.
So there is no first universe.
Well, no, there has always been a universe.
We are against once a dime to share a love of God.
Universe.
A
Is it
love
conscious?
of God.
Is it conscious?
Honestly, I don't know.
What does it show to you? Does it show any consciousness, intelligence?
I'm not falling for that.
So falling. You believe in an eternal matter.
That's an anthropopic argument.
You believe in the eternity of matter.
It appears to be conscious. Yes.
So it appears to be. What do you say appears to be?
It seems from our human perspective to behave in a way.
So you have a universe which appears to be conscious, which appears to possess knowledge, which appears to possess intelligence, which appears to possess energy, and which appears to do things. Now, what you have done is simply renamed God and taken a concept where this God doesn't want to
So
you to do anything.
your argument is that God is.
So you believe in a deist God, which
I am a deist, yes. I am a
That's what I'm
deist.
saying. Because you don't want to believe in a God who created you for a purpose. You believe you just. That's what I'm saying.
No.
So this is a cop out. That's the cop out we're talking about.
No.
Not being responsible or taking any responsibility.
No, my argument is that is not my argument. Okay. The problem here is that religious people tend to ask the wrong questions. Okay? Right? Yeah. Does God exist? Of course. Take a look around you. If you want to think of God as what you're describing, then yes, everything is sentient in a fashion probably greater than we can understand and exists. Right? That's not the important question. Okay? The important question is, from a religious point of view, what does God want of us? And the answer, from my point of view, is I don't know, and neither do you. No, we do. This guy's saying as well.
So when you say neither do us, are you imposing your ignorance on us?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
No, believe we do.
Very interesting.
No, we do. We do know. We do know. Don't
Just
talk,
because you're ignorant doesn't mean
don't talk
you're
about
ignorant too.
You believe, but you do not
He has a
know.
right to say that, though.
No,
It doesn't mean that it's true. He
No,
has a
I'm
right
not
to
saying
say
he has a
that.
right to.
He's
What I'm saying is,
imposing his ignorance.
because someone is saying, I don't know, you don't know either. You know,
evolution.
We want God's strength. We want
Your ignorance
God's
on
no,
these.
you're simply demonstrating your ignorance being imposing onto others. I don't know and you don't know either. That is your limitation and your ignorance.
I claim that we're all ignorant. You say I'm not ignorant, I know. So I say, where's your proof?
Can we know anything?
Where's your proof?
Okay, can we know anything?
Where's your proof that you know?
Can we know anything?
Yes, of course.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we know that we exist. I think therefore I am.
Right. So there are ways of knowing. There are ways of knowing.
There is at least a way of knowing.
Fine.
angel of God.
We also have evidence the Creator has communicated with us, given us revelation. The Quran being one of them, the final one.
I just realised I was talking to a Muslim.
The Christians believe the same. The Christians believe the same.
Oh no, I absolutely understand. Yeah, but the point is,
That's step number two. To me, step number two would be what are God's attributes? Once we assume a creator, we would go to step number two. But I'm still not happy with step number one. We can move on if you want, but do you see at least?
Let's go back to step number one. The reality is we have to accept there is something greater than us.
Can you just rephrase what I said, just so that I see if you have an understanding of my point? Then is that okay?
We are discussing about whether there is a cause of this universe, ultimately. And if this cause is complex, how do we accept that explanation? Because you are finding it difficult. How can we accept that as the best explanation when it seems to be very complex? To you, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically what I'm saying is if you explain complexity of this world with something that is even more complex, that doesn't require explanation. It's a bit of an easy way of explaining it. It's saying something caused it, but we don't know what that something is.
When we make cameras, we are more complex than the camera. It's not difficult to understand and grasp, but what we have made is less complex than us. It's not difficult to grasp.
Yeah, we could make things that are more complex than us.
But we can make things less complex. So the creator can make this universe less complex than he is. Why is it so difficult to understand reality?
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying that the original cause is the most complex, most mysterious, most misunderstood, most whatever you want to call it, form of existence. It doesn't answer any question because you're left with all the questions who apply them to God.
Is it not? Best explanation, we limit to which one we consider the best explanation. You're simply saying that it's not the best explanation. Then that means then every explanation you give for anything is not the best explanation. There's always another explanation to it.
Can I ask you a question? One of the biggest questions that we all have, one of the biggest philosophical questions is why is there something than nothing, right? Rather than nothing. Saying that because God intended it doesn't answer the question, because then the question is why is there a God rather than no God? Why was there originally someone overpowerful, super intelligent? Why is there a God rather than no God?
It's not about why. The reality is, if you are here, there has to be always someone. There is no escape to this reality.
Yes, but
the reality is, if you are in existence now, there has to be always something that exists. Otherwise, you won't be here. There will be nothing. The fact that something exists automatically demonstrates to us we have to surrender to something that always existed.
Well, you agree that you cannot answer the question why there is a God rather than no God. You cannot answer that question.
It's not about why there isn't.
Yeah, but that's the cause.
God's existence is either reality or not a reality.
From our wicked ways.
Yep. The fact that we are here discussing this demonstrates that to us without a shadow of doubt that his existence is a reality. Now, it may be difficult for us to grasp why does he exist? But the fact that he will exist because we exist. We are asking this question and he will exist because we are asking this question. That's the reality.
But I'm fine with that. Do you see though how you could say that, well, if you question, for example, the fact that something exists rather than nothing, you know? I mean, I think everybody struggles with this notion. There's something in existence, there could be nothing.
The differences between questions are why and how.
Yeah, let me just finish my point. So the question of why is there something rather than nothing is one of those mind-boggling questions. But to say that God created it asks then the question of why is there a God rather than no God?
Why there is something, we're talking about why that God exists. God himself says, I am an I am first, before him there is nothing. He asserts this. That's the reality.
But did God create it? Did God create the world and everything in it?
This is subsequent creation. God's actions, his creation. Creation is an act of God. But why does God exist? God tells us because he is the one who is the originator of everything, the one who is al-awwal, ma qablahu shay. The one before him there was nothing. And he will be al-akhir, the everlasting one, ma ba'dahu shay. After him there will be nothing. So these are the God asserts. Now you can use all your tools, all your methodology, science and philosophy. You cannot escape this reality with whys and hows that why God exists. It's a fact of reality.